Hello, my name is Sam, and this is ExpressiveSyntax, is what you're watching right now. Uh, this is a stream on Twitch. If you go to twitch.tv/ExpressiveSyntax, you'll be able to find us, find me. I'll probably also upload this to YouTube. This is my first time streaming. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be good. Fingers crossed. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be doing some programming. We're going to be doing Ruby Koans. Those are a good way to dive into a new language, practice test-driven development cycles, red-green refactor. And if you've never done any programming before or never done any Ruby programming before, that's fine. That's great. This is the video for you. So, anything else I need to say? I don't think so. Let's dive right in. So I'm going to go over to here. This is the Ruby Koans page. It's just rubykoans.com. So with the edge case Ruby Koans, this is like a specific version of the Ruby Koans, I guess. There's other versions, but this is like the edge case version. Koans walk you along the path to enlightenment in order to learn Ruby. The goal is to learn the Ruby language, syntax, structure, and some common functions and libraries. Oh geez, did I switch over? I forgot to do this. Let's see. So you see what I'm seeing. Here we go. Boop. Oh, it's better. All right. So, Koans walk you along the path, right? The goal is to learn Ruby. We also teach you the culture. Testing is not just something we play lip service to, but something we live. It is essential in your quest to learn and do great things in the language. Sweet. I like that it's got this focus on testing. It's good. Download Koans. So I've already downloaded them, but if you're following along at home, click download. It'll download a zip file, and you just open it up and use your terminal to navigate to that spot. CD. CD CD Koans. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm there inside that folder. Okay, what are we looking at? So this is like a table of contents, I guess. And so the Koans, here's the structure. The Koans are broken into areas by file. Hashes are covered in about hashes.ruby. Modules are introduced in about modules.ruby, etc. They are presented in order in the path to enlightenment.rb file. Okay, so that's like the master one, I guess. Each Koan builds on your knowledge of Ruby and builds upon itself. It will stop at the first place you need to correct. Okay, so we'll correct one, and then the test will run to the next, and then we'll correct that, and then it'll go to the next one. I think that makes sense. Some Koans simply need to have the correct answer substituted for the incorrect one. Some, however, require you to supply your own answer. If you see a method, a double underscore listed, it is a hint to you to supply your own code in order to make it work correctly. Alright, cool. Installing Ruby. I've already got Ruby installed, but let's see. Make sure we have the right version, I guess. In order to run the Koans, you need Ruby installed. If you do not already have Ruby set up, please visit this URL for operating system specific instructions. Cool. To verify your installation in your terminal, simply type ruby-version. Alright, let's give that a shot. Ruby-version. Ruby 2.1. Should be good. Any response for Ruby with a version number greater than 1.8 is fine. Alright, we're all set. Ready to go. What editor can I use? Any of these. RubyMine, TextMate, Emacs, Vim, JEdit. I'm gonna be using my favorite editor at the moment, Sublime. But also I like any of these are good. What's another good one? Atom. A lot of my coworkers are using Atom these days, and I like Atom too. It's similar to Sublime. If I was gonna stop using Sublime, I'd probably start using Atom instead. Anyway, yeah. So pick whatever text editor you like. Path to enlightenment. You can run these tests by calling path to enlightenment.ruby file. In your terminal, while in the Ruby Koans directory, type ruby path to enlightenment.rb. Ah, okay, cool. Try that. Ruby path to enlightenment. Sweet. And then we've got, looks like a, excuse me, keep burping. Looks like we've got one failing test. We'll come back to that in a sec. In test-driven development, or TDD for short, the mantra has always been red, write a failing test and run it, green, make the test pass, and refactor, look at the code and see if you can make it any better. I like it. Talking about TDD. With the cones, you will need to run the test and see if it fails, the red, make the test pass, green, and then take a moment and reflect upon the test to see what it is teaching you and improve your code to better communicate its intent, refactor. All right. The very first time you run it, you will see the following output. Ah, okay. So yeah, that's what we saw. We saw about assertions, right? About assertions, test assert truth is the failing test. Cool. It's slightly different, but I think it's close enough that we can proceed. I'm gonna put these side by side right now. Yeah. Okay. You have come to the first error. Notice you are told where to look for the error. Yep. Okay. Noticed that. Good. 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 You then open up the about asserts.rb file in your text editor and look at line 10. All right. So let's do that. I'm gonna close this because I think. Oh my goodness! Don't save. Yeah, and then I'll open up Sublime. Ooh, hey. So I'm looking for about asserts. We're going to line 10. We shall contemplate truth by testing reality via asserts. Test assert truth. Assert false. This should be true. All right. What do the instructions say? Yep. So that's what we just saw. Cool. You then change false to true and run the test again. You should get a new error. Before moving on, think about what you are learning. In this specific case, ignore everything except the method name, test assert truth, and the parts inside the method, everything before the end. The goal is for you to see that if you pass a value to the assert method, it will either ensure it is true and continue on, or fail if in fact the statement is false. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So this is failing because assert has a value of false. And then some information and inspiration. Information and inspiration. So cool. I think we have everything we need to just dive in. Let's do this crazy stuff. So this is an easy one, I think. It pretty much tells us what to do. So let's make it true. I'm also going to close for now. Close my thing there. Make this a little bit bigger so it's easy for you all to see what's going on. And now I save. I should turn on autosave. Oh, I should turn off that flog thing too. That's going to be annoying. Maybe I can just do something silly like this for now because I don't want to figure that out at the moment. Oh god, are you going to be annoying? You are. You're going to be so annoying. No. Alright. I'm going to try this one last. Alright, I have a better idea. Another idea. We'll just do this goes on the bottom. Okay, now we can see the thing that we're working on and also whether the tests are passing. Right? wonder if I could just do a break. Does that give me the same output? Oh, it does. Okay, cool. Oh, this is bigger than I. Sorry, give me a second while I adjust things. While I adjust. I don't know why. Cannot load such file flog. All right, I'm gonna try to fix this real quick, and if it doesn't work, then that's fine. But I want to try to get this to go away. Give me 1 second. I think I just need to do, since it's saying, okay, so here's some context. There's this program called Flog that basically tells you how good your code is. It has some heuristics like are your methods short? Do they have a lot of branching conditionals that make your code hard to understand? And they'll give you a score based on those things. So it's a useful tool to have. But right now it's saying it can't load it. So I'm just going to see if installing it fixes that. Gem install flog. Yeah. Is it going to work? Is it going to work? Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Toes crossed. Okay, so it installed some stuff. Is this gonna, whoops. Is this gonna be annoying when I save? It's still being annoying. Alright, it's not worth dealing with at this point. It's only marginally annoying. So we're gonna go ahead and continue on with our cones. So we're on to the next one, I think. Right? I do rake, and it tells us some crazy stuff. The master says, "You have not yet reached enlightenment. Do not lose hope. The answer you seek. This should be true. Please fix this. Please meditate on the following code." About asserts line 16. All right. Enlightenment may be more easily achieved with the appropriate message. This should be true. So we can also add messages to our assertions. That makes sense. This should be true. I'll make it true. Is that a better message? Maybe I'll use this message. This should be true. Yeah, all right. That's a decent message, I suppose. I'll save that and I'll run the test again. Am I onto a different one? Yes. Line 25. So you are progressing. Excellent. 2 completed. The answers you seek is failed assertions. Please meditate on the following code. Learn the rules so you know how to break them properly. Okay, so to understand reality, we must compare our expectations against reality. Assert quality. So, oh, okay, we can do comparisons here. So we're doing expected value equals actual value, and since expected value is this, we're getting false and the assertion is failing. That makes sense. So in order for this comparison to be right, we need to change this to 2. Yeah? All right, cool. On to the next one. Some ways of asserting equality are better than others. Remember that silence is sometimes the best answer. I wonder if these are just randomly generated. This is kind of funny. Like there's a little aphorism under each time you run the test, or if it's specific for the test. Let me go back and see. Mountains are merely mountains. Learn the rules so you know how to break them properly. Yeah, I think they're just randomly stuck onto the end of each one. Like if I run this again, it'll give me a different one. Yeah. No. Oh no, it is the same one. Interesting. I'm gonna have to pay attention to what these are because I like them. Anyway, you have not yet reached enlightenment. Do not lose hope. Okay. So I have to fill in. Some ways of asserting equality are better than others. Now we have assert equal. Instead of just assert, we can pass assert equal one value and a second value, expected value and the actual value. So if we change expected value to 2, that should now pass and run to 38. Yeah, chugging along. Sometimes we will ask you to fill in values. Sure. So save. Now run the rake. And now, oh, we're onto a new category of thing here. About nil. How exciting. Okay. So I'm gonna open up my here. Find about nil. Close about assertions. And then, yeah, we're back on, so we're on line 5. Test nil is an object. Oh, interesting. So we're asserting nil.is an object, unlike null in other languages. Oh yeah, okay. So in Java, I think, maybe JavaScript, null is a special thing that's not quite an object. Whereas in Ruby, everything is an object. Even object is an object, but yeah, nil is an object too, which is cool. So I can say true, because it is an object. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then I rake, and I see that we're on to the next thing. Cool. Sleep's the best meditation. Ha! Yup, it's true. What happens when you call a method that doesn't exist? The following begin, rescue, end code captures the execution and makes some assertions about it. So there's a block, there's a code block that captures the execution, makes some assertions about it. Oh, okay, cool. So we begin, this is our block. Some method nil doesn't know about. Right, so this is not a method, this is not a real method. So we'll get an exception, rescue exception ex. What exception has been caught? What message was attached to the exception? Interesting. What does the error message tell us? So here, the answer you seek, expected fill me in to equal no method error. So this is what we're looking for. When you try to call a method that doesn't exist, the thing that we get is a no method error. And that makes sense, I think. Replace blank blank with part of the error message. Yeah, okay, sweet. So, pass it? No, we're still getting... Oh, what exception has been caught? So it's no method error. And then here we can just say like no method because this is a matching kind of assertion. Let's try that. What? Oh, this is what needs to undefined method. Okay, so you see what's going on here. So the kind of error is a no method error, but then the message that we get is different than the name of the error. The message that we get is undefined method, and then it gives the name of the method for nil class, right? So I think what we're expecting here is actually undefined method. This is cool. It's teaching us about error messages in a way that's kind of like it's fine. Like here in the test, getting error messages is it's not going to actually break anything. So that's one thing that's really cool about test-driven development is that you can like test, oh, in this situation my code should throw this error, but then in the test it's fine if it breaks. In fact, you want it to break in the test and then make assertions about it. this is cool. I like that they're introducing this kind of early. They're not calling all those things out, but I like that they're testing errors in the test, and making assertions about what type of error and what the message should say. When we're writing code, it's good to do this kind of stuff in your tests. Think about what situations will my code fail, and then what should happen then. Yeah. Okay, so I'm feeling confident now. I'm feeling like we got it this time. So, yeah, we're on to the next one. 25. Sweet. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so test nil has a few methods defined on it. Okay, so we're asserting nil.nil. I assume this should be true. Nil.2s. Ooh, I don't know. What happens when you call nil.2s? Should I guess, or should I just see what the test says? I'll put in a guess, and we'll see how right we are. I think it might be an empty string. Nil.inspect. Oh, I don't know about this. Maybe that's an empty string? We'll see. We'll see what the test gives us back. To equal nil on line 27. Oh, okay, cool. So when you inspect it, it tells you, oh, this is a nil thing, and it gives you the string nil. Is it better to use object.nil or object equals nil? Why? Huh. I don't know. That's a good question. Object equal nil. I'm thinking it's better to do this. I've seen this way more than I've seen this. And my guess is that if object actually is nil, there's no equals defined on nil, which might be a problem. Is that why? Shall I test this hypothesis? So if I do nil equals nil, that gives me true. So why is it better to say object equal nil? And that gives me false. Huh. Well, if you're watching this and you have an opinion or an idea about why it might be better to do object.nil over object equal nil, or the other way around, post it in the chat or in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I'm going to think about this a little bit more. It's good, yeah. But let me know what you think. Put it in the chat. All right, are we on to the next thing? Where are we now? About objects. We're on about objects. Cool. All right. So switching to about objects, closing about nil, and we're on when you lose, don't lose the lesson. There's a lesson in losing. How wise. All right. About objects, line 5. Test everything is an object. Sweet. 1 is an object, 1.5 is an object, string is an object, nil is an object, object is an object. What? Object is an object? That's some meta shit right there. I think the answer to all of these is going to be true. Yup. So what happens now? On to line 13, yes, everything is an object. That's pretty sweet. Even object is an object. That's cool. All right. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, it's true object-oriented programming language. Like Java says it's an object-oriented programming language, but in Ruby, they go all the way. everything is an object. All right, I'm just gonna do. I think I'm just gonna do this one, and then I'll call it a day. Well, we'll see how we're feeling. I'm this might be the last one, but I'm enjoying this. Okay. So test objects can be converted to strings. Assert equal 123.2s. So this will be the string 123. I assume. What will nil? Oh, we saw this before, didn't we? Nil.2s was the empty string, but nil.inspect was the string nil. So this, I think, I feel good about that. On to line 18. Nice. Okay, yeah, that's good. You might be wondering why I use double quotes here and single quotes here. And there's not a good reason. I really ought to be using single quotes, unless I really have a good reason to use double quotes. Single quotes are a little bit more efficient, and it doesn't really make that much of a difference. It's not like hugely more. It's just a little bit more efficient. But I like to use single quotes if I don't need to use double quotes. Double quotes allow you to do string interpolation and stuff. I'm sure that we'll see that in the about strings section eventually. Anyway. Back to objects. Test objects can be inspected. Ooh, inspect. So is this going to give me 1, 2, 3? And this will give me, like we saw before, nil. Let's try that. So we're on to line 24. Yeah, that worked. Cool. Cool. Test every object has an ID. This is a cool concept to learn about. So every object has an ID. Actually, object equals object.new. Object.object._id.class. I don't know what the answer will be. Oh, number? Integer? Because the ID will be some sort of number, and we're looking for the class of that number. So it'll be number. I don't know if this is the actual class name, but it's going to be something like that. Where are we? 24, did that work? No, that did not work. Uninitialized constant number. Alright, so that was wrong. Integer? Okay. The highlighting makes me think I'm more correct about this. Yeah. Integer to be a fixed num. Okay. So there are different types of numbers. There's integers, there's fixed nums. Apparently the class of the ID is a fixed num. Yeah, now we're on to 30. So, okay, we learned that every object has an ID, and the ID is a number of type fixed num. Test every object has a different ID. Okay, so we make an object, object.new. We make another object with object.new. And we say object ID is not equal to another object.object ID. So that should be true. We expect them to be different. So we're on to line 34. Yeah, that was right. Cool. Test small integers have fixed IDs. So I'm guessing the idea of 0 will be something like, will it be 0? Let's run the test and see what it says. To equal 1. Oh, interesting. So the idea of 0 is 1. What is the idea of 1? 3? The idea of 2 is 5. What is the pattern here? So it's like, if this is n, the ID is n times 2 plus 1. So 100 will be 201? 201 Dalmatians. 47. Yeah, okay, 201. Oh, that's fascinating. Think about it. What pattern do the object IDs for small integers follow? Yeah, alright, yeah. So it's double and then plus 1. It's interesting. I don't know why this would ever be useful in a programming, like day-to-day kind of programming, but it's super interesting to like get under the hood a little bit and learn about how they made some of these objects. Test clone creates a different object. All right, that's the one we're on, right? 47. Yeah, okay. So we make an object with object.new, and then we make a copy with object.clone. Insert assert equals object is not equal. Excuse me. Object is not equal to the copy. So the name of the test makes me think that this will be true. Object is not equal to the copy. What is this? Object ID is not equal to object ID. So it's a unique object, so they'll have different IDs. Every object has a new ID. I think. Yeah, and we're on to about arrays. All right, so we learned, what did we learn? We learned a little bit about how everything is an object. Every object has an ID. The IDs for numbers have an interesting pattern to them. You can call 2s and inspect on every object. We learned about nil. We learned some cool things about nil. Yeah. So get back to me on this. What do you think? Why is object.nil different from object equals nil? Leave a comment. What was the other thing we learned about? We learned about asserts. Yeah, the very basic unit of testing. Assert true. And that's it for today. I'm going to try to do this again in a week. Tune back in on, oh geez, I don't have a schedule yet. But maybe I'll post on Twitter or somewhere. Follow me on ExpressiveSyntax on Twitter, and I'll post my schedule when I figure that out. When I do this again, and I'll tweet out streaming now. So thank you for watching. I think next time we'll come back and we'll do some more cones because these are fun. We're learning stuff. And I'll catch you later. Bye.